Come for the portfolio update, stay for the film history. That's what I say. I do have a 60-40 portfolio. It's 60% Tesla, 40% who gives a shit. Guys, welcome. It's not another financial advice channel. Some really good not financial advice will be happening here. Also, some pretty bad financial advice. Can we tell the difference? That remains to be seen. Behind me, you'll see my portfolio. I refer to it as my lemonade stand. And you clicked on a video from Nick's lemonade stand channel. And I'm Nick. That can't be a coincidence. Why name it lemonade stand? You might be asking yourself. Maybe you're asking yourself that. Why you would ask yourself that? I have no idea. I think we'll save that origin story for a future video. Because you probably clicked on this video for a different reason. How am I investing $159,000? Why am I doing it? When am I doing it? We're going to get into all of that. So what's the plan? First, it's not really $159,000. It's more like $124,000. So I quit my day job back in January of this year. Over the next year, I intend to live off a portion of that $159,000. I also get some rental income, some dividend income, and a little bit from interest. All dividends are going to be reinvested back into the portfolio. Rental income will also, at least a portion of it, but it really depends on how well I'm able to budget. And I'll continue to update on how that dynamic evolves throughout the year. Each week, I'll be investing $2,500 approximately from the Grand Fund into what I'm calling the Lime Hedge. The Grand Fund is referring to the proceeds I received from the sale of my condo a couple months ago. I named that because, well, the building that the condo is in is called the Grand. And in future videos, I'll get into whether or not that was a good return on investment. Spoiler, it wasn't. Actually, I don't even want to talk about it, but I will in a future video because content. Okay, so my Lime Hedge isn't really a true hedge, but the name sounds cool, so I'm going to continue to use it. The thought, however, is to put most of this money to work in assets that look different than the rest of my portfolio, hence the hedge, while also remaining 100% in stocks. To be clear, it's actually a 60-40 portfolio, 60% stocks, 40% stonks. I'm kidding, it's 100% stonks. Well, there's crypto too. Let's not forget that magical asset class. Actually, jokes aside, I do have a 60-40 portfolio. It's 60% Tesla, 40% who gives a shit. All right, so let's actually look at the Lime Hedge. Well, first off, before we get to that, so you're looking at my M1 account. It's where the majority of my portfolio is. I have smaller portfolios as well, including my retirement accounts. What you're looking at this time frame here is 1 quarter. You can see I've had a market gain of $163,000. $1,800 of that was earned dividends. My portfolio is up 15% for this time period. If we narrow in on what happened today, September 8th, market is not closed yet, but we're down about 0.5% or about $5,600. And it looks like I made $76 in dividends. I wonder where that came from. So we're going to scroll down here. You can actually see my slices. Again, 60% of my portfolio is about Tesla. You can see here's the Lime Hedge. The balance is just over $10,000. I've only been putting about $2,000 of the $2,500. So 80% of the $2,500 each week goes into what you see here on the Lime Hedge. The remainder goes into a Robinhood account where I have to get some equities that M1 doesn't have. So I have to buy them on Robinhood. But the majority of that remaining 20% goes to BlockFi, where I have most of my crypto allocation. So opening up the Lime Hedge, I will break down this portfolio in future videos. The idea behind it, again, is to look entirely different from the rest of my portfolio, to act as sort of like a pseudo hedge. Most of what you see here in the hedge are ETFs or SPAC, and I'll break that down in future videos. We're not going to get into it on this video. Each week I'm going to update how this is all going down with the Lime Hedge. I'll show you where I'm investing back in the portfolio. Mind you, all the dividends I collect are going back into the portfolio. Most or all the rent I collect is going back into the portfolio. Week in, week out, I'm going to show you where that money is going. A lot of what I do is going to be based off budgetary constraints, and I'm going to break down the challenges of that each week. The way I look at it, every single dollar that I spend is a dollar that I cannot invest. One way to think of it is like, imagine the opportunity cost of purchasing a brand new electric bike for $4,000 that that gets stolen 2 weeks later. So had the money used for that purchase been properly invested, that $4,000 could represent an entire year of expenses had I wisely invested that money and just walked to the gym. Why couldn't I have just walked? I mean, I get it. Running sucks, but I could walk. I mean, I'm no runner. I'm not running to the gym, but I could walk. I don't need a bike for that. I don't need a $4,000 bike for that. Those are the things I think about when I'm laying awake at night, tucked in an aggressive fetal position, crying myself to sleep. When I go to bed at night, I like to count the days I had my bike. I count it in my head until I fall asleep. There were only 14 days, so I just count them over and over and over. I'll be fine. This is an investment channel. Investors don't cry. There's no crying in investing, as Tom Hanks famously said in that one movie. A League of Extraordinary Investors, I think is what it was called. If you haven't seen it, it's about when all the hedge funds back in the 40s got depleted of talent because of World War II. An all-female league of hedge funds start popping up throughout the Midwest. There's a sister rivalry between two hedge fund managers. It's great. You have to see it. All right, guys, come back next week for a portfolio update and film history. Come for the portfolio update. Stay for the film history. That's what I say. This channel just tackles it all, really. It's incredible. My name is Nick. This is Nick's Lemonade Stand. See you next time.